Alrighty, it's time. Let's get started. Okay. There we go. Hopefully I can stay awake. I didn't have any caffeine today. And I just woke up a moment ago. Well, 2 hours ago, roughly? But, yeah, I didn't have a super great night's rest, so we'll see what happens today. The servant's docked vocal cords were recently replaced with a silver-plated Vox implant.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
Cassia offers you a reserved smile and waves at you in greeting. What does your special sight reveal?
The esteemed Magos Haneman is shattered, like a beautiful stained glass window into a mosaic of colors. His bright, beckoning hues are mixed together in complete disarray. I must confess it perplexes me. Normally, scarlet and steel are all that fills the heart of a servant of the Omnissiah. Behind the cobalt steel of his thoughts, behind the cold, faded gray of his emotions, an ember, the color of amber, glows in Master Van Kalox's soul. So bright and warm, one is tempted to touch it. It is sad that the interrogator seeks to drown it with his own hands in the bottomless blue of duty. Sad indeed, but I can relate.
Master Van Kalox. I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I played Rogue Trader. I'm trying to remember all the names and such. I do remember that we were on our way to Footfall, though.
I have enjoyed your company. Thank you for the conversation.
The good news is that we just finished a chapter for Rogue Trader, which means everything relating to the new chapter is probably going to be a self-contained story. When you approach, Vigdis pulls away from fine-tuning another Vox and bows her head. Captain, the ship informed me of our imminent meeting. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately? You may be interested to know that a group of officers was discussing a grim rumor over lunch. Word has it, the apparition of the Captain Theodora has been sighted on board lately. Yes, you heard right. They say she is haunting the decks, dragging wayward crew members off into oblivion. Disquiet has spread throughout the ship, as the anomaly has been reported in different sections, sometimes entire kilometers apart. The Vox Master leans closer to you. Master Heinrich Van Kalox expressed interest in our communication stations and Voxnets a short while ago. The interrogator appears to be very well versed in the matters of sacred technology, and it worries me. A man of his knowledge and in his line of work is capable of discreetly planting his own devices in our systems. We will be vigilant, Captain, but you should try to be more careful as well. Okay, I think Kalox is, he was standing over here last time. Heinrich Van Kalox?
To what do I owe this visit?
I don't remember his last name. Is it? Wait. Oops. Where's all my menus? I'm pretty sure it's Heinrich von Kalox. I can't be certain, but I'm pretty sure. Also, Adira levels up with us, although she's not in our party, so I'm not gonna bother checking her skill tree. We'll be fine without her. Okay. I think it's a J for journal, yes. So, we're now entering chapter 2. What is this? Oh, Argenta wants our help with the personal matter, but it's on Footfall. So, that'll have to wait. Our current mission is Tattered Spirit. Many of the systems on the Rogue Trader's ship have suffered damage in the battle with the cultists. The wounded ship's spirit yearns to reach the only port in the sector, Footfall. The dockyard is waiting for the ship in order to begin the full inspection and repairs. In Footfall, in the Furibundus system. Okay, let's take a look. I don't think there's anybody else to talk to. Captain Ravor's voice over the Vox sounds weary rather than annoyed. I'm getting reports of several ships moving toward us. Judging by the fact that they're not responding to our hails and the telemetry shows a trail of... Judging by the fact that they're not responding to our hails and the telemetry shows a trail of macro batteries, they're not here for a chinwag. Ready to issue orders to prepare for battle at your command. Where did they come from? Why haven't you noticed them before? The rubbish of Furibundus. And I'm not talking about these wrecks that are about to open fire. I mean the remains of meteorites, gas clouds, refuse from the shipyards. It all bunches together, and the smaller ships hide behind it to harass ships as they emerge from the warp. Could this be the work of VTuber? The silence over the Vox lasts for several seconds. It's possible. He could have hired some scum. Or maybe it's just a pirate who saw the state of our ship and decided to push his luck. Can we evade this combat? Ravor snorts, or perhaps chuckles. I don't think so, Captain. There'd be no reason to. It'll be easier to blast these scum to smithereens than to evade them. We'll warn Footfall we're coming with a few macro salvos. On my order, all stations get ready for void combat. Oh, this is a new loading screen, I think. I don't remember this. Okay. Oh. Interesting. A different kind of combat, I suppose. Moving the ship in combat. You have engaged the enemy in space combat. Battles in space and on the surface of planets work quite differently from one another. In space combat, the battlefield is separated into 3 zones marked by various degrees of brightness: the acceleration zone, the mid-movement zone, and the end zone. Ships travel at high speeds even during combat, which is why both your ships and those of your enemies must move a certain distance each round. You can only end your turn once your ship has traversed this minimum required distance upon entering the end movement zone. What? To move the ship, click left mouse button on any accessible cell on the battlefield. Once you do, you will see a hologram of the ship that will allow you to evaluate the efficiency of future attacks and actions from that position just as you would in regular combat. Click left mouse button again to confirm your choice and command the ship to move. Alternatively, you can click right mouse button to remove the hologram. I forgot I called it the Taku-mobile. Whoops. Okay. What do I have? Mizoa lance weapon. To a chosen enemy within a narrow firing arc. 4 torpedo salvos with plasma warheads. Move and attack starting next round. Huh. Oh, there's like left and right, huh? Mars pattern macro battery. Short-range broadside macro cannons which fire 4 shots dealing 14 damage per shot. Short-range dorsal macro cannons which fire 2 shots dealing 14 damage per shot. And there's a void ship ram. The flagship rams an enemy dealing damage. This damage increased by 10% for each void movement point spent by the flagship to get to the enemy ship, but only after traveling 3 cells. Let's try this. Your ship is equipped with an arsenal of weapons, which differ in terms of range and... Hello? I was Okay, well, I was reading that. I don't know where it went. Some ships are protected by shields. To deal damage to such an enemy, you must first pierce their shields. 2 shield arrays cover the ship's sides. 1 protects its bow and 1 its stern. When facing an enemy ship equipped with shields, choose your angle of attack wisely and direct your fire at a side where the shields are weakened or completely depleted. Note that enemy shields recover each round. The rogue trader's flagship is likewise protected by shields. If the enemy attacks you from a side where the shields are weakened or depleted, the ship will take damage. The flagship's damage shields do not recover at the start of the next turn. Instead, they can be restored using the Restart Shields action on the panel at the bottom of the screen. Restarting the shields reduces the flagship's combat efficiency. On its next turn, it will have reduced movement speed and firing range. Okay, well, I kind of missed out on one of the tutorials, but hopefully it's not too bad. Nice. Am I just allowed to just take whatever? Actions I want? Kinda seems that way. I can't really tell my action points. That's fine. Okay. We'll have to end the round. Ow. This is a pretty interesting combat. I must say, this is quite an interesting combat that I was not expecting. Oh, damn. Activate the Geller Field emergency warp jump in 3. Yeah, no you're not. Shoot, I kind of screwed myself just now. Well, maybe not. No? Okay, so that doesn't work. Oh, I could just do this. Got him. So that's 1 down. I don't know what else I could do from here, though. I mean, it seems like I could use this torpedo, but it says unavailable when I try. Yeah. Okay, if I move... No, I can't turn around. Oh. Must reach one of the end base cells. Okay, sure. Sure. Ow. Ow. Okay. Let's try it this way. Not super great. Got him. Alright. I won my first void combat. Enemy attacks can penetrate your shields and damage your ship's hull. This damage remains after the battle is over and must be repaired. Open the void ship Open the void ship management screen with V to make repairs to your ship. Use scrap to repair your ship and restore its hull integrity. Scrap can be found while exploring star systems, collected after certain space battles, or purchased from merchants affiliated with the various factions. Sure. We'll be fine. Maybe. Ah, interesting. Oh, can upgrade stuff. Yeah, I mean, why not? I don't know if I'll upgrade. Whatever. Might as well. We're already here. We might as well upgrade it. Okay, pretty cool. Oh, and it has its own skill tree as well. Very cool. Okay, so we're out here. Footfall is where we need to go for a quest. But I wonder... should I hit the Footfall first? Yeah, let's hit the Footfall first. We've got time to explore other places. So, no big deal. I wonder if we'll just get into fights like it's Pokemon. You know, wandering through the grass. Your lordship, something sinister is unfolding among the survivors from Rykad Minoris. There have already been several cases of evacuated refugees being found either dead or dying. All of them have been blinded by using various means. I fear there is reason to believe that there were agents of the cult among the people who came on board. Damn it. I knew the Anthema would not fully release its hold on those doleful souls just yet. Then let us march and drive it away. Give me a proper report on the refugees. How were they quartered? How are they supervised? The serfs and the planetary wardens were assigned to 2 auxiliary lower decks. The commoners are riled up and frightened by the calamity, so, to keep their senselessness in check, we only assign those of sound mind to work and pump sedative gas through the ventilation into the compartments holding the rest. That doesn't... I need to know more about the killings. 11 bodies have been found thus far. The first victim had their eyes burned out with a gas torch. The second had acid splashed in their face. The third was found wandering around on their last legs with metal pins sticking out from their eye sockets. Ew. They died before we could interrogate them. The rest were killed and disfigured in similar ways. Through blinding, no trace of the killer's identity was found. Begin the interrogations. It will be done, your lordship. If I may interject, there is no need. The interrogations have already been conducted. I put the enforcers on alert as soon as the first body was discovered, though I decided not to disturb your lordship until I had the results. Well, now I do. We have already arrested, let's see, 4 perpetrators at the scenes of the crimes that had yet to take place. Those are not murderers. Sorry, those are not murders. They are suicides. Explain yourself, Seneschal. The people we apprehended were about to blind themselves and end their own lives. I am confident that all who perished did the same. When questioned, they all said the same thing. They are haunted by the sight of the dying Rykad Minoris. Even in their sleep, they still see the same horrific picture, so the sad wretches would do anything to make this nightmare stop. I don't know how I feel about drugging all the Rykadians. That doesn't really seem... that seems like a crime of some degree. Increase surveillance. Assign enforcers to watch the passengers. I think that's the one I want to go with. Yep, increase surveillance, assign enforcers to watch the passengers. Certainly, Captain. Except, I'm afraid it is not just the refugees. Abelard's voice is grim. 3 out of the 4 people we arrested were members of the crew. They watched Rykad Minoris die, and it left their minds scarred. We all bear the mark of that dark catastrophe, for it was the attention of the ruinous powers that branded our very souls. May the Emperor have mercy on us. You were warned, your lordship. It is regrettable that you did not listen. Well, I don't need an I told you so interrogator. So make planetfall and footfall, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Go, go, go. Available quest, Tattooed Spirit. Let's get in there. How did Adira make her way back into the party? Oh, the interrogator is gone. Whatever, I don't care. The interrogator is good in combat. Kind of annoying in personality, but good in combat. Oh, welcome into K. Scott. Sorry, I missed you. Welcome in. K. Scott says, hello, I went to Taco Palooza today. Very nice. Have you taken any pictures of Taco Palooza? Are there any pictures of the tacos? Because I do love a good taco. Tacos nowadays have gotten pretty expensive, though. It kind of depends where you get it. But I love a good taco. In case Scott forgot to take pictures of tacos. Hey, Scott, no! It's okay. But took pics of the sun and the trees, though. Ah, very nice. Very nice indeed. I hope you had a wonderful time at Taco Palooza. Were the tacos there expensive? And were they delicious? Were they all you could have hoped them to be and more? Is this Footfall or a ship? They say the Emperor sent his angels here, something, something. Okay, that went off my screen. Oh, okay. This seems like a glitch. I don't think I'm supposed to be standing on the ship. Okay, there we go. $16 for 3 carne asada tacos. You know, not that great. Not that bad. Nah, no, that's kind of expensive, actually. I was gonna say that's not that bad. If it was like a 3 carne asada taco meal, then 16 I'd be like, I think it's justifiable. But if it's just the tacos, then it's like a little over, it's what, like $5.33 per taco, roughly? Yeah. And from a food truck. Ah, I see. The food trucks have the best tacos, but the worst prices. I guess this goes for all food trucks, but I've been noticing that food trucks tend to have like really good food, but just really rough prices, though, you know. And it was pretty good, very good. Ah, nice. I'm glad you liked it. There's this place that I like that has these seared fish tacos that are just like the most top tier taco I could possibly think of. It's kind of like, it sounds kind of wild, actually. It's like, you know, like sushi has raw fish. It's like that, but it's like a thick pieces of fish, but only the outside is seared, the inside is like raw. Which sounds kind of gross, but it's kind of like eating soft meat. So, but I believe they use ahi tacos. But it is an ahi tuna, yeah. It's really good. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Ooh. Something on my glasses. But yeah, it's very good. What time is it, dude? It's so hot already. AC on. You would like those too? Highly, highly recommend. If you ever see any of those out and about, I'm sure they're equally as good. That's my favorite, but I think even then, I think it's like $15. Rough, man. I don't know. Food nowadays is just so expensive. Like, I still try to keep my budget around like $10. $10 during my lunch break is like around what I would prefer to spend. Anything more than that, I feel like I'm spending too much money, you know? I mean, I'm not paying rent anymore, which means that I have a little more to spend, but I'm still just like, Rough. Anyway, I'm getting hungry now. I haven't had lunch yet. I did have one of those microwavable udon noodle things. But to me, that's not really like a full meal, you know? So, I don't know. I'm not really sure what's happening for lunch, but once my sister wakes up, my family's gonna figure out what we're doing for lunch. So, I'm hoping it'll be something good from the outside world. Something good. I'm like low-key, honestly, I'm like low-key falling asleep. Okay, so I'm just gonna vent since I'm already on my soapbox. K. Scott says gonna go out for dinner on a date tonight with the Hubs. Ah, very nice. Where are you guys going for dinner? And how often do you guys do dinner dates? And my kids are sleeping over at my parents' house tonight. Ah, very nice. Very nice. Dinner dates. I've always wondered how often married parents go on dates. I can't remember. Have my parents gone on a... I don't know. In case Scott says, I don't know, probably some casual place like Outback or Carrabba's? I haven't heard of Carrabba's. Outback, is Outback considered casual? I feel like Outback is fancy. Well, fancier than... Outback is like... It's somewhere between casual and fancy. It's not quite fancy, but it's not quite casual. It's like right in between. And we will probably just watch TV or play video games. Oh! Sorry. I just remembered. Did you happen to watch Outlander? I watched like 2.5 seasons of Outlander. Anyways, apparently there's gonna be like a Outlander prequel, kind of. I only saw it announced in the past like few days, but and K. Scott did not. It's like I don't know. I watched it on a whim, and it's one of those things that I know that I watched, but I don't remember a whole lot of, but I do remember good things about it. It's essentially like this married woman who goes back like 200 years or something in the past, and she has to like survive in the past and finds love and whatnot. Anyways, I saw the first episode. It's pretty good. There's some kind of rough moments in there, but it's pretty good. They announced a new thing, and the dude she loves isn't her husband. Yes. That one's kind of complicated. I don't want to spoil too much. I mean, yeah, that is the gist of it, but it's a weirdly I don't know. There's so many moments in that show that I'm kind of like, I understand where you're coming from, but I don't know if I agree. You're saying I should watch it? No, I'm not saying you should. I mean, you could if you really wanted to, but the reason I'm telling you about the plot, the reason I bring up the plot at all is because the new show that they're releasing is going to be, they're framing it like it's going to be a one-to-one with the original show. So imagine if it's like if they took season 1 and it's like if they recreated season 1 but in a different time period with actors that look kind of similar and act kind of similar. So it's like a spiritual successor prequel that is pretty much gonna be like a redo of season 1, but with technically different characters, technically different time period, but also the same story. So, I don't know. I think that's, to me, that's interesting. I think that's very interesting. Am I gonna watch it? I don't know, but I did like Outlander. I feel like I'm not the target audience for Outlander, but I did enjoy it. It was a pretty good time. But not off. Sorry, K Scott also says not often. We are trying to do it whenever we can. We would like once a month, but we can't keep up with that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Once a month. Once a month. Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be very fun. Welcome into Crusader. Crusader says, Abelard announced my arrival. This is the great rogue trader. Unholy Crusader 7. Von Valancius. How was everyone today? Doing good. Kinda. I'm like low-key falling asleep today. I had a kind of poor night's rest last night. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I've been taking these supplements. It's called like ginkgo biloba or something. It's supposed to help you with your concentration, your ability to focus. And I find that it's really helpful to focus, but it also wakes me up at like 4 a.m. So like if I take it today, then tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. I'm gonna wake up, which is what I did take it today, and I'm gonna wake up at 4 now. Anyways, but yeah, I'm tired. But currently we're talking about whatchamacallit. We're currently talking about Outlander for some reason. But K Scott didn't get attached during the first episode. I can definitely see that. I think Outlander's definitely not for everybody. There are a few moments in there that I really don't like. Welcome into Mandy. Hi Taku, Azur and I are palliating, but I'm listening. Say hello to Azur for me. Hello Mandy. Welcome in. We're talking about Outlander. But welcome in. So yeah, there's a few moments in there that like a part of me wants to talk about, but it's pretty graphic and kind of spoilery, so I don't really know if I'd want to talk about it. Actually, no, I can tell you without really spoiling much. The main character is Claire, so Claire's the one that goes back in time. I forget what the name of her first husband is. We'll call him Paul. I don't remember what his name is. And then the guy she falls in love with in the past is Jamie. So Claire and Jamie are like the main characters. So there's been like a few moments in the writing that have like pissed me off. There's one moment in particular that happens. I think it's like it's towards the end of like season 1 or like the beginning of season 2. But Crusader says, dude, my father loved Outlander. I wasn't really into it much. Spoil away, I've heard it all. Okay. I'll still keep it vague, but there's a moment towards the end of season 1 where like Jamie goes through some pretty bad like trauma, and Outlander, you can spoil me too. Okay. Outlander, like the show about the Scottish warrior dude. Yes. It's about Claire who goes back in time and falls in love with Jamie. And I read the first book with my sister. Yeah. I watched like I watched like 2.5 seasons like a couple years ago. So, okay, so I'm saying, sorry, to catch Mandy up, I'm saying all this because there's gonna be like a reboot almost. There's gonna be a new Outlander show. It's gonna be a different time period, a different cast of characters, but the same story, if that makes sense. So there's gonna be like a one-to-one version of every character, but in like a different show, using the same story. You didn't like the actor they chose for Jamie. I thought he was pretty good. I thought he was good. He is a little dramatic, but I thought he was pretty good. Anyways, so the reason... Going back to what I was saying about the end of Season 1. So, welcome into Azray. Welcome in. We're talking about Outlander. So, towards the end of Season 1, Jamie gets pretty traumatized. A lot of, like, terrible things happen to Jamie because he's trying to protect Claire. And after all these bad things happen, they're so graphic that I can't describe what happens to him. But some really terrible things happen to Jamie. And later on, Jamie is like lying down in bed, recovering after just like this really traumatic experience to try to like save Claire. And Claire was like, Claire gave a speech that was the rough equivalent of like, it's not that bad, get over yourself. And that pissed me off. I was so mad. I was like, do you know what happened to this man? Do you know the things that he endured to spare you this pain? He endured it himself, and you're just showing up to his bedside being like, it's not that bad, get over it. It's like, dude, if it's not that bad, then... I mean, he's a tough guy, you know? He's not gonna just, like... You know, lie down in bed all day because of something small, you know? So, yeah, I was pretty pissed off about that. But, other than that, the show was pretty good. Trying to think of any other moments. I don't really know how I feel about the whole Claire falling in love with Jamie thing. Because, this is a little spoilery, but like, I get that... my problem is that Claire is married. You know? So... her just like... falling in love with some dude she met is just kind of like... I don't really know how I feel about this, but at the same time, they are very compatible, but it's like, I don't... And also, she can't really divorce Paul anyways, or like talk to Paul about what's going on, because she can't even get back to Paul because she's stuck in like the past. So in that way, she's married to someone that doesn't really exist yet. Oh, it was Frank, okay. I didn't remember what his name was, so I just called him Paul. But yeah, I didn't know how I felt about Frank, because I'm like, you know, it's like you're married, you shouldn't be doing these things with Jamie, but at the same time, it's like, well, Frank doesn't technically exist yet. And you can't really divorce Frank or have a talk with Frank about what's going on in your marriage, because you literally are stuck in this time period, this past time period. So in that way, it's kind of... Oh, and then the other thing that kind of like, I'm not sure how I feel about it is, I think this is kind of a little bit spoiler-y, but everyone knows where the story's going. So eventually, Claire gets married to Jamie, but at the same time, so Claire is originally married to Frank, but then she time travels to the past and gets married to Jamie, and she can't go back to the present day. So, if I remember correctly, she wears Frank's wedding ring on one hand, and she wears Jamie's wedding ring on the other hand. And it's really weird. It's like, to me, I'm like, isn't that kind of disrespectful to both your marriages at that point? But whatever. Who am I to judge? Anyway, sorry, I'm a little behind on messages, but Mandy says, I think the problem was the book was 100 times better, so I was going to be disappointed by the show no matter what. I was considering whether or not I should just get into audiobooks at this point, because I do love reading about people's Reddit drama, and I like watching YouTube videos when I'm playing games on the side, so I think maybe audiobooks are the thing that I need to check out. What's up, Crusader, my enemy? Hard to enjoy shows, movies if you read it first. The worst movie I've ever seen from a book I've read is City of Ember. I read the book in like middle school. I went to see the movie. It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. In terms of keeping with the book storyline, I guess. My current location is downtown. Very nice. Glad you're here with us, even though you're downtown. Just vibing with the wonderful Taku, my rival. Very nice. Glad to have you vibe with us. Hopefully I get it home to vibe too. I hope we get home safely at Azray. And I talked about the Paul thing. This is the best way to explain the moral dilemma in the show. The problem I have with Claire is, to me, Claire is really selfish. This is my hot take. I think Claire is kind of selfish. And I mean, it's been a while since I watched the show, so I'm kind of not super well versed in this at this point. I remember having that thought that Claire is really selfish, but like going back to the trauma thing that Jamie had, and Claire telling him to get over himself. I think that's kind of selfish, because Jamie was thinking of Claire. Jamie was doing his best to help Claire, and took the trauma that was meant for Claire upon himself to spare Claire that experience. And to have Claire tell him to get over himself is kind of self-centered. And then the wedding ring thing is kind of, to me, that's kind of self-centered as well, because it's like she's like disrespecting both marriages in that way of wearing wedding rings on both hands. She should just, in my opinion, she should pick one. I don't think she should be married to... She kind of technically is married to two people in a way, but it's bizarre. But K. Scott says her husband was a jerk in the past too in the beginning episode. And the same character. Yeah, I mean, I feel like to Frank's discredit, to Frank's credit, I like to give Frank the benefit of the doubt, because we don't spend a lot of time with Frank before Claire gets put into the past. So I think in that way, we spend more time with Jamie, and we're meant to like Jamie more, but it's like, I mean, Claire married Frank for a reason, right? So it's kind of like, City Girls are up 100 points. What does this mean? And I am with Taku on the romance Claire has. Don't like that. It's weird AF. Weird plot. Haha, yeah, the Reddit drama. Dude, I've been reading some crazy ones lately. I don't remember them all offhand, but it's been spicy lately on Reddit. Mandy says, the first book was really good and explains it better. My sister read the rest of them, but I moved out of my parents' house at that point, so I stopped. You gotta talk to your sister about the rest of them. See if they're good. And I want to know what she thinks of the show. Because, in my opinion, I think the show is pretty well written. There are a few moments where I'm like, okay, now. That's not happening. But for the most part, it's pretty... Oh, the thing the thing I hate the most is that Claire and Jamie are... They're aged unnaturally. So the show has a few time skips. And the actor for Jamie, he's not that old. But like I think when it's filming, he's probably like, I don't know, if I had to guess, like early 30s maybe, or like mid 30s. And then they do some time skips and then they try to make him like look older than he actually is. And in that way, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to age up somebody by like 10, 20 years. It's kind of bizarre. Anyways, Azray says, I read The Hunger Games before the movies came out and didn't mind the adaptation. I watched like the first Hunger Games and then I don't think I watched the rest. They were okay though. I don't know. I blame the Hunger Games for the current Battle Royale trend. I think the Hunger Games is the reason that we have games like that. Crusader says, my father liked it because of how authentic it was to the time period. I can respect that, but the whole romancing another guy while having promised yourself to another is just a bad taste in my mouth. And Taku has objectively based opinions on relationships. Thank you, Crusader. Thank you. Yeah, to me, it's like... I understand the events that have led to Claire needing to... I think she needed to be wed to Jamie, like, for a specific reason. I don't really think that... if I remember correctly, I think that Claire was kind of, like, not really on board with Jamie for a while. Jamie was in love with Claire from, like, day one, but I think Claire wasn't really about that until later on. But I think they had to get married for something in the plot required them to be married for some reason. And eventually Claire does fall in love with Jamie, but it's still like I understand the events that led to the point where they're married and they fall in love. But, I mean, cheating is still cheating, you know what I mean? So, it's like, yeah, you can justify... The show can try to get me to like Jamie and their relationship and their chemistry and their connection. And I can see that they have a connection and chemistry with one another, and I can see why they love each other. But cheating's still cheating. So, I don't know. Anyways, isn't she like 40 and he's 29? Is she really older than him? I thought that they were... I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, but... I thought that they were like roughly the same age. Or something. I don't know. Claire doesn't strike me as like 40. She's like a decade older. Oh. Or maybe in the show it's different. I don't know. Because No, actually, in the show, I feel like in the show, in the beginning, he has to be... I think the actor was probably, like, early 30s, but... His character, if I had to guess, was probably early 20s. No, I guess I could see Claire being a little older, but not like 40 and 29, though. I could see... No, wait, no, that... Yeah. I was gonna say, I could see him being like early 20s and her being like 30. But then I guess that's the same age difference, right? 11 years versus like 7 or 8 years. I don't know. Cheaters never prosper. Well, in this show they kind of do, but... but yeah, it... I don't know, I'm just there for the drama. You know, loved the drama. It did have a few, like, cheesy, corny moments that I'm not really, like, the biggest fan of, but I do like the drama, so, so there I stay. But, where did I leave off? I remember seasons 1 and seasons 2 were really good. Cheaters prosper occasionally. Okay, get ready. Here's your official warning. I'm gonna blurt out actual spoilers for Outlander. Here's your official warning. I'm gonna say it. So there's a part that I watched where after Claire and Jamie get married, I think like Claire knows that a war is coming, like historically, that Jamie's I can't remember what like faction he's aligned with, but Jamie's faction and friends are going to war with like a separate faction, and it's like historically noted, like this battle that's going to take place, and as a result, I think, if I remember correctly, I think Jamie wanted to, or Claire was looking for a way to use like the stone structure to get back to the present day, and Jamie wanted her to get there because Claire would be killed in the upcoming battle if Claire was still around. So Claire needs to go back to the present. And I remember there was like a big plot episodes and whatnot trying to get Claire back to the present so that she's not present for the battle. They managed to get Claire to the present. Oh, and Azrae is entering the subway. Hopefully chat with you all soon. Hope to see you soon, Azrae. Have a wonderful time on the subway. Have a wonderful time. Azrae will miss Eat Well. I don't know if it's like Subway or Subway, but close enough. Tomato, tomato. Excuse me, that burp just like came out of my mouth. Anyways, so what was I saying? That burp threw me off. So Claire eventually gets back to the present, and she finds out that she gets back to the present. Her husband finds her and was like, "Where were you?" And Claire is like, I don't remember if Claire tells the truth and like the husband just doesn't believe her or what. But anyway, Claire finds Frank. Frank's like, "Where were you?" I think Claire was like, "Oh, I was in the past." And Claire's like, "Also, I'm pregnant." And Frank was like, "Well, you've been gone for 2 years. I don't believe you, But we can work this out. So Frank takes back Claire for some strange reason. To be fair, if my spouse disappeared on me for 2 years, told me they entered the past, and came back pregnant, I would probably be like, I don't know about that one. In this case, it did happen, but regardless of all that, Claire proceeds to have a child, and Claire and Frank raise Jamie's child for several years. All the while, Claire is still in love with Jamie and, like, wants to go back to the past. And to me, once again, this is going back to how I feel about Claire being selfish. Selfish! Because if you're not in love with Frank, first of all, don't string him along. Okay? He's got things to do with his time as well, you know. So stringing along this dude, it's one thing if you're like still in love with Frank, but it's very clear that she prefers to be with Jamie, and in that way it's like just, I mean, it's not that Frank is without fault either. I kind of feel like Frank should have not been with Claire after Claire's speech, but that's another story. But Claire, after several years of raising Jamie's child with Frank, and Claire being all upset about not being with Jamie, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth, you know? It's like, you two shouldn't. Claire and Frank, just, you guys need to divorce. First of all. And I understand that it's not, like, easy to switch time periods, but come on. It's like, she spends all this time in the past, she wants to be with Frank, she finally gets there, and then she's like, I want to be with Jamie. It's like, okay. You need to pick one. I don't care. Just pick something, you know? But yeah. Anyways, that's, I complain about Claire. I still like the show, though. You know? I like Outlander. I didn't finish all of it. I got to a part that involved, like, a party in the modern day at, like, a college. But yeah, I don't know too much of the context of that. It's been so long. I do remember there was one actress there. She's probably, like, late 30s. She's probably, like, the actress herself is probably, like, late 30s, early 40s. And she's appeared in the show before, but for some reason they wanted her to be, like, a younger version of herself. So they have this, like, late 30s year old trying to have her act like she's, like, 21 or something, and it doesn't really work. It kind of took me out. I kind of feel like they should have just brought in a different actor. She looks younger. She doesn't look like early 20s in college young. But I digress. And does she love both of them? Does Claire love Jamie and Frank? To give the spoilery answer, in the beginning of the show, she loves Frank, and is invested in their marriage. As time goes on, she warms up to Jamie, and then the further on you go, the more pro Jamie and anti Frank she becomes. But as far as I've gotten, and as far as I remember, even though Claire does not really want to be with Frank, she still strings him along and she has Frank do like the fatherly duties of raising Jamie's child, but still wants to be with Jamie. So in that way, does she love both of them? You could say that she does, but does she really? Because, like, yeah, she could be attached to both of them, but I kind of feel like if she really loved Frank, that she wouldn't be putting Frank in this situation to begin with, you know? Because I don't think it's fair to Frank. But yeah, I do think she loves... To me, I think she loves Jamie a lot more, personally. I don't know if I'd say a little. But I think she loves Jamie a lot more. Reminds me of Inuyasha without marriage/husband. I actually haven't watched Inuyasha. Jamie brings the passion. So what? Frank's the stability and Jamie's the passion. It's like, come on. I don't know. To me, it's... To me, it's not fair to either husband or for Jamie... Not Jamie. It's not fair to Jamie or Frank for Claire to be flip-flopping. She needs to pick. That's the thing that pisses me off. She needs to pick. It doesn't... It's bizarre. I don't... I like the drama, but it kind of makes me upset, you know? It's like, yes, this is the show that I signed up for, but also, why are you doing this? So. Anyways. But yeah, and then this is around when the time skip shows up, where they're like, I just came out of the portal, but now 10 years have passed, and then they try to make Claire look like she's like pretty old. But she doesn't look old. The same thing with Jamie. They try to make Jamie look old. The man doesn't look old. He looks like relatively young with makeup to make him try to look a little older, but he doesn't look old. Neither of them look old. I could see like adding the makeup adding like a believable like 3 years or so, 3 to 5. I could see that. But the makeup adding an additional like 10 to 15 years is like, I don't believe you. I don't believe this. There's no amount of makeup. You would have to go like full prosthetic face for me to believe that these people are old. They're very much not old. Anyways, but I digress. Back to it. Your lordship, forgive me for not welcoming you with the appropriate obeisance. We were told that you would prefer to arrive on Footfall incognito, and so we are trying to attract as little attention as possible. I'm here on the behalf of the Liege of Footfall, Vladimir Tokara. The Liege awaits the chance to speak with you at his residence, but if you happen to have other business to attend to, I can serve as your guide and tell you about the station. Cassia's lip curls slightly. This is so familiar. Behind the amber-colored scattering of words of welcome. Sorry, I was just thinking about when I got COVID. I had COVID, I remember the day... So, I officially started, like, major COVID symptoms on, like, Tuesday morning. But I remember on Saturday, I remember this was like last Saturday, the last time I played Rogue Trader. I remember towards the end, my throat was getting kind of funny with all the reading. I wonder if I had symptoms like really early on. I remember at the end of Monday, I was kind of like feeling kind of weird too, but strange. Anyways, Cassius' lip curls slightly. This is so familiar. Behind the amber-colored scattering of words of welcome, far less appealing hues lurk, murky and diluted. The look of someone accustomed to lying and hiding their intentions. Adira jerks her head, shakes it, and hisses through her teeth. Someone's coming, and they're coming for us. Watch out, Captain. Abelard sighs and casually places his hand on his weapon. Who's coming? Judging by the voices, there's a lot of them. Angry. They've got teeth, but they aren't that sharp. Their strength is their numbers. Pray, what are you talking about? What could you mean by such a cryptic She doesn't get to say the rest.
Hey, newcomers!
Oh!
How's this for a warm welcome?
Folded like a lawn chair.
You will beg for mercy, but I will grant none. I will take you down.
I didn't even get to ask my other questions. You know, I thought something would happen. I didn't expect it to be this quick, though. Is that explosive? I can't tell. Dude, I'm getting hungry now. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Well, this was unexpected. Oh, I forgot to level up Adira. Whoops.
Let's get to it.
Thankfully, these guys are poor shots. Oh, ow. Never mind.
I've suffered worse.
Touch me.
Can I shoot, please?
You don't frighten me.
Oh, Abelard. Things are not looking good, Abelard. So we'll do a run and gun,
Faith without deeds is worthless.
so that we don't have a... Whatchamacallit? Why does this guy have so much health? Bloodstained Amelia, almost 100... 105 health. Why do you have so much health?
As the Emperor
Oh, damn. Not bad.
doubt is for the
Not bad. Okay, well. I really need Abelard to take a shot.
Get to it.
To take a move. I probably should have put everyone in cover. I didn't expect this much of an offense. So I initially wasn't...
Minor setback.
Ow. I initially wasn't worried. Thought we'd be fine. But, yeah, things are pretty rough right now, I must say. Things are pretty rough.
If I may, the navigator's might.
Never mind. Things are kind of a joke, actually. Not bad. Let's, well, voice of command.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
And, oh, damn, I was gonna do the extra command, but fine. But we can still move. We'll just move.
Emperor, give me strength.
I really need Cassia to get some cover. And we'll increase resolve. I need Abelard to tank all the bullets for me. This bloodstained Amelia is kind of a problem.
At your beck and call.
There we go. Oh, 52 damage. Nice. I just lost all my action points, though. Let's do this. Did I not? Oh. Let's try this.
A tactically sound approach. I took care of this one.
Okay.
Reduced to dust.
Nice.
Indeed.
Nice. Oh, I should have. Oh no, I still have one more. I was gonna say I should do endure, but I do have one more. Nice.
Let's make it quick.
Oh, I had one more thing I could have done. Ouch. Damn. Damn, how many shots do you have? What is this? Good sir. How do you have this many shots? It's like 4 shots. Can I shoot this guy? I can.
On it.
I'm not quite sure what I want to do here. I'll buff Pascal. Oh, that's not a good buff though. Whatever.
It's as good
Alright,
as
shoot him.
done.
Okay, so what I could potentially do, maybe I could whack this guy. Ah, it's a good. Not a good hit though. Well, eesh. Yeah, you know what? Let's go.
Export is no one route forward.
Not bad. Could do. There we go. Haha. Very nice. I will expose that guy.
High momentum.
Anything else?
Nice. Oh, I should have done one of these first.
On it.
That's okay. Okay.
As the Emperor.
Got him. Very nice. I should have eliminated that guy though. Is that the next? No, that's not the next one. Good.
Let's get to
Oh, I forgot they were over there.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible. Actually, wait. If I move here, could I just shout? Okay.
Battlefields are always
I can just
found in
barely
scarlet.
clip this guy with the
Painted
stare.
black.
Oh, that got rid of my cover though. Ah, whatever. It's fine.
That is foolishness.
Alright.
I'll show you why navigators are feared.
Abelard, you are up.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. The aftermath
Got him.
of an orbital strike.
What the hell is that? Oh, it's a servitor. Oh, never mind. Combat's done. Nice. The shivering young servant looks up at you with horror in his eyes. Emperor, protect me. They killed. Every time I warn them. And then they go all, Dear Emperor, how could this have happened? Who could have thought? Hidira spits on the ground in annoyance. Fear not, young man, we took care of the attackers. Do you know who they were? Your lordship, those guys were Anvers. They're a gang. They're the worst, I'm telling you. They're scared of no one. Not even Liege Takara. He glances around like he's expecting more bandits to appear. Does this kind of thing happen often around here? Shooting? Yes. Attacks on nobles? Not very often. Unless it's the Anvers. They're vicious. Not a week goes by without them killing and gutting somebody. They're wicked heretics. They respect nothing. They follow no rules. Go and report this to the Liege. Yes, I'm sorry, your lordship. I'll just go report to the Liege. They killed her. They killed my lady. Oh, this is terrible. Well, I guess I'll be the one to walk myself around them. But, well, first off, let me save. I wasn't thinking about that, but I should save. But, what I need to do is upgrade. Upgrades, people, upgrades. Let's see. Intelligence would be good. And nothing recommended. It would be nice for a deer to be more offensive, though. Visions of Doom. Also, for this coming week, I want to add Barony to the schedule. I know I talk about like adding stuff to the schedule. This schedule that I have right now is so whack. I don't know where anything goes. There's so much stuff I want to do, but I don't know where to put it. Anyway, assuming nothing... I couldn't stream on Wednesday because something came up that I didn't know about and wasn't told about until like 2 days before. But I should have... the keyword is should, have normal stream schedule this week, assuming nothing comes up. But I want to play Barony on stream. I don't know if it'll be fun to... No, I think it'll be fun to watch. It might be confusing, like a little bit confusing at first, but I think it'll be fun to watch. And that'll be open invite as well. I don't know a single person that owns Barony. But the game is pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's pretty addicting. I'm enjoying it a lot. I don't think it's on sale anymore. Normally it's like 20 bucks. Normally it's 20 bucks. If it's on sale, it's like 10 bucks, like 50% off. And I bought all the DLC for it. In total, it's like there's 2 DLCs, it's like $4 per DLC, which is 8 bucks in total. And so I have Barony, I have all the DLC, and Barony works in such a way that if you own the DLC, then everyone you play with also owns the DLC while they play with you. So in that way, if you out there were to happen to buy Barony and want to play, you could play the DLC as long as you're playing with me. I'm still kind of early on in it, so I want to give it more time to find out if it's like one of the things that I'm going to play for a long time. But so far, it's a lot. The mechanics in the game are a lot deeper than I thought they would be. It's very much like, you know how Minecraft has like caves. That was a stupid way to put it. So in Minecraft, there's two main things, right? There's you're on the surface, you're like building stuff, you're making your little garden, whatever, right? And then on the other hand, you have the caves aspect where you're like running through the caves trying to get your ores and whatnot. And you're fighting monsters down in the dark caves, right? So Barony is like, if it's just the cave dungeon part, it's just the dungeons, but the combat is significantly deeper than Minecraft's cave combat. Which maybe it doesn't really sell it, but it's really interesting. In my opinion, it's procedurally generated, so every level is like different than the last time you played. There's lots of different classes. There's lots of like skills to learn. There's lots of different loot and enemy types. The game is very lightly puzzle-like, in that it does require you to kind of plan ahead sometimes. There's random traps that occur as well that you need to watch out for. Random enemies, random ways to play. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's on its surface, it's very simple. It's about as complicated as you want it to be, and I think that very much works in its favor. If you want to learn magic, if you want to learn how to tinker and craft stuff, if you want to learn potion brewing and how to make offensive potions and whatnot, you can do that. But if you don't care about any of those things and you just want to like use your sword and shield and just fight everything with your hands, you could do that too. So in that way, it's interesting to me. Anyway, so to make a long story short, I am considering adding Barony to the schedule later on this week. I don't know when or where, but it's probably going to be in there somewhere. Sorry, I need to focus for a second. I gotta figure out what it is I'm trying to level up here. None of these are really all that interesting to me. Like, I mean, none of these are bad, but none of these are that good either. So, and they're also stuff I'm not going to remember, you know? So I don't know. The first time in combat that an ally becomes the target of the Psyker's psychic power, this ally gains 10 weapon skill. I don't have positive buffs, do I? Oh, every parallel of the warp increases momentum by 14. That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, I want to take that. It's pretty cool. Welcome back to Azray. Azray has resurfaced. I've been spending so much time downtown lately. Very nice. What have you been doing downtown? Hanging out? Making friends? Hanging out, making friends, eating Subway in the subway? Question mark. You know how it is. We'll do dismantling attack. Also intimidates all enemies in a 5-cell radius around the target, reducing dodge and armor by 50%. Yes. Oh. Okay, so she is level 15. I thought she was level 13. Whoops. She has the exact same levels as everybody else. That's good. For a moment, I thought it would be like one of those Persona situations where the person that sits out doesn't get as much XP. But this is perfect. This is what I wanted. So, awesome. Alright, let me take a look here. Damn, look at all those clothes. Downtown is always stinky. I believe that. I've been enjoying my summer, trying to be less of a homebody. What do you do when you head out, though? The servitor's mechanical parts produce a quiet whirring, occasionally interrupted. Blah, blah, blah.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Like, I head out, or used to head out, rather, to go to, like, the city, but there's nothing to do aside from what I scheduled to do there. Hangar A1. Yeah, I feel like there's nothing to do. I show up for whatever. Comic-Con, for example. I show up. I do the Comic-Con, but there's nothing around the Comic-Con to do. Strange memo. The holy book by the altar. That void damn customs guy. He is always on duty. Does he get any time off? Does he ever leave for a piss? Is he a servitor or something? Guess what? Hangar by the window. Remember to bow to the Emperor through the window. I don't know what that means. Corpse looks horrifying. The victim was thoroughly beaten before being shoved into a crack between the boxes. One of... Okay.
Success is the only outcome I accept.
Okay, these... The text is up there long enough for me to read, but not up there long enough. For me to read silently, not up there long enough for me to say out loud.
Just as I planned.
Okay. Yesterday went out for sushi. Today I had to do a course for work, but I still made time to stop by the mall and enjoy the sun too. Ah, very nice. That's a very exciting day, Azrae. Very exciting day. And now, you get to enjoy the rest of your day at home. On stream. Wow. Now you get to hang out on stream at home in the quiet of your room. Now is our time, not theirs. Go to their homes, drag them out of their beds, carve open their bodies like carcasses at a slaughterhouse. The Imperial Navy Casbalica Corda von Valancius, their names mean nothing now. Tomorrow will erase them from memory. Go and seize power, as much of it as you can carry. A and V. Crazy. Up. Interesting.
Is there money to be made?
Inch arresting. So much for arriving silently.
Peculiar thing.
Huh. I'm just stealing stuff. What? The wearer and their allies are immune to damage from the wearer's grenades. What? Pretty cool. That sounds broken as hell, but that's pretty cool. Life of Saint Drusus, Volume 3. And yes, then my brother's coming to visit. Have to go back downtown on Monday, though. I hope you have a wonderful time with your brother. Monday is still a ways off, thankfully. Monday... Or maybe you're waiting to go back to the city. I don't know. But... Dude, after I was sick for so many days, just staying at home, the weekend, I stayed home for like 6 days. And now my 2-day weekend's gonna feel like it's 2 seconds long. You know what's weird though? I might actually get sick again, low-key. Because right before, like 30 minutes before stream started, I was lying down on my bed and I felt like very lightly nauseous. I felt like I was gonna throw up. And then the feeling passed and I got out of bed. But I don't know, maybe I'll start puking everywhere. I'm looking forward to Monday, actually. I am looking forward to Monday for you too. I think. Yes. Since you're looking forward to it. Since you're looking forward to it, as am I. I am writing to inform you that 2 days ago, the discharge was interrupted by a raid launched by the Anvers gang. In the attack, three loader servitors were put out of commission. Furthermore, one cargo container, serial number FVDA1-16165, was stolen along with its contents. I don't know what that means, but I'll take it. Oh, I'll take it, man. Man, I just started getting rid of my COVID cough. So now that it's back, I'm just upset with myself. Like, why? Oh, you gotta push these buttons, huh? Get back there. Dang. No! Oh. Dead body's nice. And hey, where's my goat? Where's Appy? I don't know where Appy is, if that's who you're referring to. Appy... I have not seen yet today. At Appy PK. What is that emote? Ew. Yeah, I don't know where he is. He's out there somewhere, though. Out in the wild. Living his best life, probably. I don't know. Aspen PK? Yeah, man. It means poop knife. Okay. You're so right. You are absolutely right. Why would he do this? Why would he name himself Aspen Poop Knife? I was gonna say this number should be 16165, but there's no 6 on the buttons. Maybe I think I'll just need to keep that in mind, and I'll come back to this later. 1345. There's some number code without a 2, I guess. I guess.
Keep your wits about you.
Aristocrat, you say? When all my shuttle arrived, my patience is almost at an end. Rich people moment. Well, actually, no, I guess, yeah. Finest wines from Janus. Janus. A reasonable crash out, actually. Being upset about a shovel, not a rabbit. Kind of a
Rise to the top,
reasonable...
or get left in the dust.
Reasonable crash out. I don't know where to go. Oh, what the heck is that? Is there loot there? I don't think so. Hold on, my mom just sent me a message asking if I want McDonald's. I gotta talk to my mom. Dude, I don't know where this loot is. It says there's loot here, but there isn't actually. They lied to me. I've been lied to. Okay, well, I'm gonna take a quick break. I gotta talk to my mom, so I'll be right back. BRB. I'm back. I was gone for so long that my headset turned off. But I'm back. Alright. McDonald's it is. I had to
always keep my options open.
I had to talk to my family about what they wanted, and we had to come to a consensus about what we were gonna get. But now I'm back, so. Yep, I'm back. Woo! I lose brain cells on my own stream sometimes, I feel like. This is what K. Scott shows up for. Taku sing yodel. Incomprehensible.
This place was intended to be merely a hall within the temple, but now a whole city has been squeezed into it.
A rational decision. Ecclesiarchy temples lack the critical functionality that a void station requires. Unlike the chapels of the Adeptus Mechanicus.
This place really is built just like Dark Tide, huh? Truly. What is that? We need no rules or leaders. We are not an organization. We are a force of nature. ANV. Look at that. Goods. Okay, we already read that one. Oh. The buzzing crowd has closed in on several harried-looking individuals. Some of their faces are smeared with fresh blood. The angry cries and twisted faces leave no doubt. A massacre is about to take place. Just cut their throats already. What were they thinking, letting that ship dock at Footfall? They're all stricken. No, no cutting. We get their blood on us, we'll be tainted too. Better burn them. You're not talking to me, are you? Hieronymus Dolorso. Be quiet, you scoundrel. A priest clad in a simple black raiment cuts through the crowd like a void ship crossing the sky. You dare pass judgment on others? What arrogance to think you have the right. Argenta starts at the sight of the elderly priest. That's Reverend Hieronymus. I'm surprised he decided to intervene in a street squabble. We'll watch in silence. Reverend, but these are heretics. Real heretics. Their whole planet is plagued. Folks say they all died over there. And why is that, huh? Because they're heretics, and the Emperor punished them. We're no heretics. One of the people surrounded by the crowd raises his chin. We ran from the heretics, barely escaped with our lives. And there was no plague on our planet. Only the Archenemy's minions. A whole army of them. He spits on the ground. And, if you want to blame anyone, blame those who abandoned our world. Blame the governor. Blame the tech priests. Blame the masters of Kiava Gamma, who forsook it in its darkest hour. What is going on here? Several dozen gazes bore into you. And who are you supposed to be? Can I get Abelard to introduce me? Yeah, I guess we're not supposed to... We need to be quiet, huh? About what we're doing. A concerned citizen. An armed one. I suggest you think well before giving me lip. The rabble-rouser gives you an appraising look. You've got a point there. I wonder if you can back it up. Silence! You must be completely out of your minds. A band of woefully dim-witted reprobates who think themselves bringers of justice? Who are you to pass judgment on anyone? All you ought to be doing is suffering and repenting till the end of your days. And what's so wrong about that, Reverend? We just want to put these heretics to death. We're not heretics. The haggard man is on the verge of tears. We're refugees. I swear it on the golden throne. We served the Imperium faithfully until they hung us out to dry. Where were the protectors that were meant to shield the lands of humanity from nightmares? Traitors. Traitors and heretics, the lot of them. A murmur runs through the crowd. The people gawk at you, at the priest, and at the wretched group huddling in the center. How tiring. The motley sea of colors that fills this restless crowd is hard on the eyes. So many hues, but most of them are acid yellow streaks of fear, with their red buds swelling, ready to burst and paint all who are gathered here. Cassia looks at the crowd of troublemakers wearily, and they shudder at the very sight of her. As for the hearts of those who have been forced to defend themselves, they are shrouded in purplish black grief, but their words are as transparent as the ice that lies at the top of a glacier. But commoners are always deaf to others' suffering, for such is their nature. Interfering in their affairs is hardly worthy of you or me, Taku. The people before you insult those instated by the throne to be above them, and thus they deserve death. Those are serious accusations you're spouting. I hope you have proof to back them up. What more proof do I need? The man shouts. Kiava Gamma used to be a prosperous world. My family transported goods from there for generations, and then they came. They butchered, tortured, sacrificed entire blocks to the darkness. We were on our ship, up in orbit, and those messages started coming in. Half the wardens down there joined them right away, and they even reached us in our ship with some blight that made half our crew take their own lives. We barely escaped, we barely made it here. Why? Why did this happen to us? What messages? I wonder what all this is about. Is our planet really under attack? Or did some devious opportunist send these slanders here to undermine the might of the Von Valancius dynasty? Who could it be, I wonder? There is one guy, I bet you heard of him. His name's Voigtavir. Idira, I've been living in this game for upwards of 20 hours. I know who Voigtavir is. Maybe you've heard of him. He's the guy that literally betrayed you in the first hour. He ran from us not too long ago, after having his butt handed to him. He must be itching to get even. Get even by besmirching the dynasty to which he belongs and supremacy over which he laid claim? He is scum, but he's no idiot. No, I think this is something else. There are many who wish to weaken the house Von Valancius. Either that, or it's much simpler. These people aren't lying and their planet was captured by heretics, and the rest of it they made up themselves. I can sense darkness in their past. I may not be an expert on Voigtavir and their schemes, but when it comes to things like this, I know what I'm talking about. All onlookers are to return to their homes immediately. Refugees can go to Dock Alpha Rho. I will speak to you later. Comply or face the consequences. Coercion test succeeded. The rabble-rouser looks at you morosely. I don't want to get in trouble over this lot. Gained 67 experience. The refugees use the interruption to make off in the direction of Dock Alpha Row. Good. Get out of here. I'll figure out what's going on with you later. Okay. The arrogance and self-righteousness of a malefactor. The priest shakes his head disapprovingly. Then his eyes shift to you. I am Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso, head of the Drusian mission here on Footfall. I thank you for stepping in. Please come see me when you have the time. We can talk then. I mean, we could talk right now, but alright. We kind of have someone with us that wants to talk to you, but don't know where they went. Okay.
Success is the only outcome I accept.
Legendary rogue trader that founded Footfall. What is this? The sight of this cogitator would be enough to break any tech priest's heart. The machine is leaning slightly to one side, grimy, covered in scrawled drawings with frivolous writing scratched here and there on the casing. Several keys are missing, and the rest are coated with dust. Pascal's respirator lets out a mournful hiss before he says grimly, "The right of operation has been repeatedly and blasphemously violated, requesting the identification and punishment of the deplorable acolyte entrusted with caring for the spirit of this machine." Let's try to repair the cogitator. After a series of creaks and groans, the cogitator's dusty screen lights up. On it are several lines of text. Section headings. Praise to Omnissiah, the machine spirit of this cogitator is aggrieved but willing to serve. Accompanied by the crackling of a binaric prayer, Pascal's macadendrites gently place a couple of keys lying on the floor back into place. Let's select the section titled Welcome. The screen flickers a few times before revealing to the world the text in low Gothic. In the name of the founder of Footfall Station, conqueror of stars, builder of outposts, the noblest rogue trader Parsimus Dewayne, and on behalf of all his descendants, I welcome you. This cogitator was installed on the order of the illustrious Parsimus so that the needy may tap into the flow of his wisdom. Cast your eyes upon the list of sections and choose what you wish to know. Abelard's brow furrows. Parsimus Dewayne. I've never heard of such a rogue trader house. And welcome into Appy. I'm lurking playing games with my bros. Sounds good. I hope you enjoy your lurk. And Mandy says cogitator. The meme that shall never die. Cogitator. I keep forgetting about cogitator. How's it going in Palia, Mandy? How are you in Palia? And Appy, what game are you playing? Whoever this Parsimus was, he sure thought big. Captain Parsimus Dewayne, one of the trailblazers of the Coronis Expanse and the station's founder. I've read about his great deeds. Dewayne was once a colonel of the Astra Militarum, but by his will, later inherited a warrant. He accumulated enough power to gather a small fleet of loyal allies and venture out to conquer the Coronis Expanse. They say Footfall was meant to be his personal palace world, but the construction dragged on for decades, and Parsimus eventually died of old age. His enemies instantly tore Footfall to pieces and turned it into the bastion of humanity we know today. One that is full of bandits, privateers, hustlers, and rogue traders. Pleased with herself, Cassia nods slightly to let everyone know that the lecture is over. Nice. Mandy says, preparing to go fishing and bug hunting with Azure, now that we've learned how to put bait on our fishing rods. Nice. Very nice. Wholesome friend time. So wholesome. I haven't done fishing yet. The bug hunting thing, I only figured out how to, like, throw a rock. Or... is it rock? You throw, like, a rock or, like, some kind of, like, dusty projectile at a bug, and that's how you catch it or something? I think I caught, like, one or two. Let's select the section about Footfall. Also playing a mini game trying to grind lucky coins. Nice. Very, very nice. Footfall Station has been envisioned by the great Parsimus Dwayne as a palace in the stars, as majestic as the spirit and mind of its creator. As of the year of this cogitator's installation, merely a small fraction of the great Parsimus's designs has yet been made a reality, but already their audacity and grandeur are staggering. Footfall is to become the gateway to the savage, barely explored Coronis expanse, a foothold for future conquest by the Imperium and the noble Parsimus Dwayne, who acts by the Emperor's will. The cogitator wheezes and blinks, clearly trying to shut down. That's an attempt at emergency repair. Cogitator whirs and the screen turns back on. One of the first structures on Footfall was the colossal statue of the Emperor. A whole asteroid was used for the creation of the sculpture, but even its titanic proportions cannot convey the awe that every faithful servant of the Imperium feels before the Master. The statue is the center of Footfall in the same way that the Emperor is the center and heart of the Imperium. As construction progresses, new, smaller asteroids are being attached to the statue, their surface serving as a foundation for glorious palaces and temples, and their inner tunnels as home for the commoners and rabble. Let's select the section titled Parsimus Dwayne's Design. K. Scott says, gotta go to dinner date. Have a great rest of weekend all. Have a wonderful time on your dinner date, K. Scott. Have a wonderful night. Have fun. Have fun. Have fun at Outback or the Italian restaurant. Have fun. 100 things on my to-do list. 1 million things to do. That's how I feel. Okay. Imagine being married. Imagine being in a loving relationship. Couldn't be me. I can't even get a girlfriend. Don't have the time. That's real. Me IRL. You really think I'm gonna give up game time to be married? The cogitator flickers and grunts before displaying a tapestry of text. The great Parsimus Dwayne intends to conquer the Coronis expanse and build the most grandiose structure, which will shine through the ages, praising the name of its creator and his descendants. Footfall, the palace in the stars, the glory of the great Parsimus's deeds will live on throughout the ages and his grand designs. The cogitator hisses and grunts as it tries to clean its insides by spewing out dust and detritus through its cracks. The cogitator hisses for a while, then the screen flickers and once more shows the words, "The great Parsimus Dwayne intends to conquer." Pascal's Vox wheezes mournfully. The spirit of this machine is enraged and will perform its function no more. I will see to it that the profaners responsible for its maintenance are marked for servo penance. The goat has arrived. Cogitator? Yes, the cogitator, you see. Use the cogitator, as one may see. Just arrived at my house, need to settle in, then I come chill. Alright. I hope you get well settled in. He's arrived. Oh! Oh, that's what that does. Okay. Oops. Is that puke? What's the point of this upper level? Oh, there's goods right there. No, pick that up. Pick it up. We need no rules or leaders. We are not an organization. We are a force of nature. What is the point of this? Is it the jump this way? Is this
Experience.
What do we have
Nothing
here?
matters more.
Up. Up. What the?
The whispers told me how.
The letters A and V are carved into this dude's shoulder blade. Okay, I think I just... Oh, there's goods over there. I may have accidentally solved the
Unexpected result.
quest without meaning to. Oh. Whenever an ally under the effect of voice of command makes an attack, this attack deals an additional 15%. Insane. Absolutely insane. I will be equipping that. I will definitely be taking that. Where's the monocle? Go. Alright. Not bad. You got a cape, Abelard? Oh, he does. Yeah. Okay. One of your conviction branches has reached rank 2 adherent. Once it reaches rank 3 votary, it becomes the character's main conviction. After that, you will still be able to choose dialogue options referring to other conviction branches, but those branches cannot be raised above rank 2 adherent. Okay. Sounds good. Got a caution table. The caution table. Okay, go unlock that. Nice. How am I supposed to work if they broke my ribs? Damn.
That's not Donal.
That's an OSHA moment. Where's OSHA when you need him? What the hell is happening over here? Oh. The Heart of Footfall is a colossal statue of the Emperor carved from a single asteroid. Is that supposed to be the Emperor back there? I kind of see an Emperor thing back there. Pretty cool. One of the many altars, it looks better tended than most places on Footfall. Cool.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Very cool indeed. Gonna grab as much as I can. If it's not on the ground, it comes with me. Or if it's not nailed to the ground. Carnival Barker. This young man is clearly making every effort to look dapper. His fashionable clothes are practically new, and his hair is well groomed. What ruins this impression is the poorly scrubbed off oil stains from his leaky implant, and the fit of the jacket, which was clearly made for someone else. Come one, come all, see for yourself the best collection of live Xenos on Footfall. What kind of collection is this? Dangerous, vicious, ruthless xenobeasts caught red-handed as they were attempting to commit evil against the Imperium. But right now, they're harmless. Our cages can withstand their rage. But I wouldn't recommend getting too close, haha! What? These aren't Xenos, they're mutants in makeup. The man's smile dims, but only for a moment. Not Xenos, you say? I'm sure there must be some mistake. I will check the shipping list myself, rest assured. His words are oozing with greenish-yellow hues. I do not think the promise will be kept. Such entertainment is lucrative precisely because billions of Imperium subjects have never encountered a Xenos in real life. Ignorance and curiosity create colossal demand. That's what I was taught. And I can see that the lesson was truthful. I demand that this abuse be stopped and all the captives freed. Apologies, sir. That is simply impossible. Private property. Legitimate business. Licensed by the liege. Last but not least, it's a noble cause to help the citizens of Footfall foster a proper attitude towards enemies of the Imperium. With a guilty look, he makes a helpless gesture. I'll buy all the captives from you. He thinks for a moment. That can be done. Very much so. The entire collection will cost you a tidy sum, but you're free to take them right away. You're free to take them away right now. Profit factor lost 1. Iconoclast plus 5. Okay, well, we lost a little bit of profit, but... I mean, it's not the end of the world. I don't even know how much profit we have, but it's probably not the end of the world. Okay. Let's grab the goods. Avalon, announce my arrival.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
I don't know if this would be cozy or just terrible.
Operation successful.
If I wasn't so noise sensitive,
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
if I wasn't so noise sensitive, I think I'd
Always keep your eye
be
on the
one place to live.
prize.
Well, maybe a fun place to visit, rather.
Just as I planned.
Huh. It's a lot to look at here. Food booth with mega portions. Right. Now what's that? Oh. Hey, what's that? Man. So much stuff. There's this game that I liked. It's called The Ascent. It's somehow overrated and underrated at the same time, if you can believe it. But it does resemble this a little bit. The man with a face so drawn it appears to be made of nothing but skin and bone fixes... What? The man with a face so drawn it appears to be made of nothing but skin and bone fixes his unblinking bird-like eyes on you. The priest's simple black clothes have next to no adornments, and they do nothing to mask his unhealthy gauntness. In a cracked voice, he says, "The Emperor protects." Who are you? I am Reverend Hieronymus. Hieronymus Doloroso, as I'm called, head of the Druzen mission and possibly the last hope for the wayward souls that inhabit this fringe forsaken by our master. Last hope for the wayward souls that inhabit this fringe. Sorry, my brain is turning off. I'm hungry! Last hope for the wayward souls that inhabit this fringe. The Emperor protects Reverend. But he protects only those who are pure of heart. Do you think yourself one of them? Be leery of this conviction of yours. Many who have risen to the pinnacle of faith have fallen from it into the embrace of pride most degenerate. And you must be the young von Valancius. That name carries weight, and it is a burdensome one, for its reputation suggests that Theodora encumbered it with many a transgression. I wonder, will you seek to shed them, or will you carry them onward, picking them along the way like ripe fruit and savoring their sweet poison? What? Welcome into Kaio Kim. Welcome back. How are you? How goes? Sorry I haven't been able to catch a stream. You tend to stream during my work hours lately. But welcome in. It's so good to see ya. How are you? How has life been? How's your new job been? Has it been good? How about things? Let me know how the things go. I haven't seen you in 2 months, maybe? And I'm good. Just been working for real. That's good, that's good. Must be good, good work, good pay. And work is great, nice and chill. Very nice. Very, very nice. And how are things? Things are pretty good. Things are pretty good. I got COVID last week. So that was kind of rough. But after having COVID, this is no big deal. This is my second time I got COVID. I have like a little bit of a lingering cough. Sometimes my throat just tends to itch. But other than that, I'm doing pretty well. The Steam Summer Sale finally came and went. I got Blood West, Weird West, and this game called Barony. So I've been really excited about Barony. I've been playing it off stream these past 2 days or so. And I'm just starting to get into the dungeon. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to streaming it. I'm not sure if I'll do it today. Maybe like Monday. I don't know. It kind of depends how long I can focus on this game. Rogue Trader, this game that I'm playing right now is requires a bit of thought, and my brain does this thing where I can only read for so many hours a day. If I go beyond that, my brain stops working and processing new information. So I'll see how far I can get. Currently, my brain is kind of crapping out, so it's crapping out really early today. But I didn't have a very good breakfast, so. But yeah, no problems at work so far. I like that. Very nice. Very nice indeed. And not the vid. Yep. On Monday night, my throat was feeling kind of weird, and then Monday going into Tuesday, like all night, my throat was so sore that it kept me up at night. And then I called out sick on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday morning, I took a COVID test, and it tested positive. So I was like out of commission for the rest of the week. But the good news is that I got to use that time to learn more about PSP emulation. It's really interesting, actually. The PPSSPP emulators, especially running on a Steam Deck. So currently I'm using this software called EmuDeck to emulate a PSP so I can play the PSP games that I own. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. But I used a lot of my sick time for learning about emulation. It was a nice detour from the usual work days. And then I was fully out of commission for like 2 days following that because I just felt worse. And then I felt better, and now we're here. So yeah. But never heard of those games. I'm really early in Barony, so I can't fully recommend it yet. The main thing that stops me from recommending Barony is that it has a really bad frame rate drop issue. And for comparison, I can run Darktide, right? I can run like huge games like Darktide on max settings with ray tracing. Barely any frame rate drops. It might drop a little, but it's not gonna stutter. It's just gonna like, it's gonna go from like 100 FPS to like 90, right? But I play Barony, which is like almost like Minecraft, and the frame rate stutters are really, really bad, and they occur really frequently. My monitor is 144 hertz. I have to like cap the frame rate at like 100 FPS, and then there's the frame rate drops are like a little more subtle, but the frame rate is still like pretty bad. In that way, I can't recommend it. But aside from that, the gameplay has been fun so far. It goes on sale for like $10, and I got the DLC for $8. So, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's like It's like if you know how Minecraft is like farming on the surface, but also half of the game is like farming and the other half is like dungeon crawling and getting ores and fighting monsters. So Barony is just the monsters part. So it's like, it's a roguelike game where you go through a dungeon that's procedurally generated, you collect stuff, you fight monsters, you go to the next levels, and you try to see how far you can get and how far you can level up your character and all that. So, but it's really fun. I got as far as level 2. I usually die on level 1. It's really hard. But it's about as complex as you want to make it. I actually haven't played Hades, if you can believe it. I didn't play Hades. It's closer to Minecraft, kind of. Barony is about as difficult as you want to make it, or as complicated as you want to make it. If you want to just use a sword and shield to just go through the whole thing, you could do that. But if you want to learn how to like craft stuff, if you want to learn how to combine potions to make different potions, if you want to learn how to use spells or make potions that do spells, you can do all those things as well. You can make turrets, dummies, noise generators. There's a lot of traps as well in the dungeon that could kill you instantly, so you gotta like keep an eye out for traps as you're going through the area. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'd recommend it in that I'm having fun so far. The tutorial's kind of long, but it's skippable. If you don't want to do the tutorial, there's a hub area that has like 10 different rooms for tutorials. Each tutorial room takes about like 15 minutes roughly. It took me like 2 hours to get through the tutorial. It was fun though. It was fun. It wasn't just like a slog. It was a pretty fun tutorial. But if you're not interested in the tutorial and you just want to jump straight in, the game won't stop you. It'll be like training areas here if you want. Otherwise, just go in there. But yeah. Anyways, Kyle Kim has been playing Subnautica offline. Very nice. I finished Subnautica like 2.5 years ago. Roughly. 3 years ago? I finished it like a little before I started streaming, so. But it was fun. It was pretty fun. Did you hear about the Subnautica 2 drama? I don't know too much about it, but as I understand, the people that I think like this comes with the disclaimer that I'm not entirely certain on what's happening, but I think I heard something like the company promised the employees a bonus, but yeah, there's really bad drama. I don't think I'm gonna get Subnautica 2 because of it. It's something like the company promised the developers of Subnautica... Sorry. The company promised the employees of Subnautica a, like, multi-million-dollar cash bonus to be dispersed among all the employees. I think it was like $450 million was supposed to get dispersed to the employees as a bonus. But to prevent the employees from getting the bonus, the company had laid off like 450 employees so that they can't get the bonus. Or so I hear. It's something along those lines. I might be getting it wrong, so I would definitely look it up. But currently there's a movement to boycott Subnautica 2 because the company is refusing to pay their workers the bonus. So, yeah. But if it's like that, not going to get it either. Yep. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a good game, but I'm not like... I had fun with Subnautica. I'm not like the biggest Subnautica fan. It was just one of those things that I played it, and I had fun. and that's it, you know. But yeah, if they're gonna do that to their employees, I'm just like, I don't really want to support those kind of business practices, you know. So, anywho, but yeah, and to answer your question about everything at work, work is going pretty well, kind of. I'm the kind of guy that I would always rather be at home sleeping than at work, but my new job is significantly better than my old one. My old one was just awful. Like, I hated every moment that I spent in that company that I used to work for. I hated it. And I was just pissed. Like, I was pissed or just not caring for a lot of the time that I was there, especially towards the end. But the new job, I feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment, kind of. What I do, I don't want to get too into detail about what I do, but to keep it vague, in my job, I help people. Like, people contact me for help with stuff, and then I help them with whatever the task is. And in that way, I feel a lot more fulfilled. I've got, like, stuff to do. My boss isn't, like, breathing down my neck either. My old boss used to be, like, getting on my case about when stuff will be done. My old boss will tell me to do something, but he doesn't know how to do it himself, and then he'll get upset about how long it's taking. My current boss at the new job, he'll tell me to do stuff, but if I don't get around to it, or I just take too long or whatever, he literally does not care. He'll just laugh about it. If he's like, oh, I told you to help this, or he'll be like, oh, remember that person that I told you to help 2 weeks ago? Did you do that yet? I'll be like, no. And he'll just laugh about it. So, it's all good. It's all good. And we, I'd say I'm kind of making friends with my boss. I mean, your boss is your boss, not your friend necessarily, you know, but I do enjoy spending time with my boss. My boss, I've kind of become my boss's, like, coffee buddy, almost. So whenever he is going to pick up a coffee, I'll, like, tag along with him. So we'll go for, like, a little walk in the morning. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Anyways, but yeah, it's a lot better. I'd still rather be at home, but in the grand scheme of things, my new job is like a million times better than my old job. Like, in some days, I actually kind of look forward to going to work. Kind of rarely. Most of the time, I don't mind showing up. But sometimes I've been feeling a bit burned out, which is kind of... I've been feeling more burned out lately. But after having gotten COVID, I got to sit out for like 6 days straight. And that's been kind of helpful to get me a little more rejuvenated. I gotta take my vacation. I'm just kind of burnt out. But anyways, yeah, so long story short, it's better. But Kyle Kim says, word up, we in the boycott movement then? Yes, definitely boycott Subnautica 2. Definitely. And your old one had you stressed? Yep. I'm glad you found a better place. That's good. Yep. That's great to hear. So true. It's... My old job was making me so mad, but... no, this place is a lot better. The people there are better. The work is easier and more fulfilling. I think I get paid a little less, but ultimately I take home more because I'm not paying rent anymore. So ultimately, I make more money because I don't have to pay for rent. And yeah, just overall, it's a lot better. I get a good bit of vacation too, so it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Also, I don't get questioned about sick. If I just declare myself as sick, then I'm like legally declared sick. They're not allowed to question whether or not I'm sick. So, yeah. It's pretty cool. That's what my boss was telling me. He was saying, like, he said, like, if you call in sick, I'm like legally not allowed to question you. So, you know. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, yep. I feel like there are some people at that company that just like, it's very obvious that they're not sick. They'll call in sick on like a Friday or a Monday. But nobody cares, so it's fine. But yeah, good, because some jobs are tripping about being sick, and I'm like, bro, I'm actually sick. What do you want from me? Yeah, this one just does not care. Like, they might... The bosses might, like, subtly... The bosses might quietly judge you for it, but they can't actually, like, reprimand you for it, which is nice. So when I got COVID, I was literally just like, I gotta take a sick day. And it was just like, yep. Alright. Well, actually, no, sorry. The first day I was sick, I texted my boss. My boss actually didn't get my text. So around when work... I texted him before work started. So then I called him. And I was like, did you get my text? And he was like, no. I'm like, I'm sick. He was like, okay, well, feel better. And that was it. That was it. I don't think he even asked me, like, what my symptoms were. I was just like, I'm sick. And he's like, alright. Sounds good. Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed the job. More than my old one. So, even though I'd rather be at home playing games. But yeah, things are doing good. Anyway, let me get through this dialogue real quick. I gotta blitz through this. My brain is frying currently. Let's see. Actually, you know, I'm thinking of loading Barony today. Maybe that's what I'll do for the rest of the day. My mind is kind of fried, so I don't think I could play this for much longer. I think what I'll do, I will finish up this dialogue. I'll save, and then I'll load Barony. I think that'll be the go-to for today. Yeah, I'm fried too. Hi, fried too. I'm Taku. Got him. Anywho, but yeah, I think Barony will be fun. I would do that off stream anyways. So, let's see. How do you know who I am? The Emperor has blessed me with acute hearing, and the people did the rest. How many members of your crew do you think came to confess the moment they arrived in port? How long do you suppose it took me to piece together the truth from their words? Awareness test succeeded. The priest's voice is rasping and harsh, but you still manage to pick up a strange change in tone. There is something hidden behind the shift in his speech, something that he did not consider necessary to explain. You're saying Theodora was the Hold on. Food delivery. Okay, let me finish up this dialogue. You're saying Theodora was a transgressor? A woman of great gifts, but few considered virtue to be one of them. People whispered that power had corrupted her, made her believe that she was entitled to anything she wanted. It is known that she showed cordiality to Xenos, broke taboos, and violated dogmas. Then again, so do nearly all rogue traders. Rogue traders are the Emperor's anointed. I act at his command, as evidenced by his signature on my warrant. And did he grant it to you personally? The Emperor has entrusted his servants with the future of humanity, but people are too weak and flawed to prove themselves worthy of his trust. Only suffering can cleanse us, but we fear it and thus remain sullied. What? Why don't you suffer then? I don't... We'll make the sign of the Emperor. He gives you a scrutinizing look, then his tone softens. Well, then be twice as diligent, for the sector will seize any chance to test your faith. He looks at Argenta, who is standing nearby, and his voice softens slightly. Greetings, sister. I congratulate you on your return. Was your pilgrimage fruitful? She's standing all the way over here. It was. Reverend, let it be known that Theodora von Valancius' ship was attacked by servants of the Arch-Enemy, who appall the heart of any righteous soul, she says, nearly hissing with fury. And not all of them met a fitting end. Some fled, and more than that, their blasphemous words clearly pointed to this attack being part of a larger design. What? Reverend Hieronymus, I wish to join the esteemed Rogue Traders crew and help protect the Von Valancius dynasty from the forces of the Arch-Enemy. I am divesting myself of the responsibility of guarding the Footfall reliquary. Could say I don't need her. Sister Argenta stood by my side during the assault on the ship, and I could use her assistance going forward. Hieronymus nods in thought. Follow the call of your soul, sister. The Footfall reliquary will be preserved even without your contribution, as it was in all the years preceding your arrival. Damn, he really just said he didn't need her. Hieronymus smiled sadly. I know what it is that calls you to follow the rogue trader, Sister Argenta. You seek combat, for it helps you to forget how hollow and worthless our lives truly are. It offers the illusion of meaning. Perhaps you will relinquish this illusion one day, or perhaps you will die before that day comes. Regardless, I wish you luck on your new path. But before you start on a path toward your new destiny, I have a request to make of you and your companion. Many among my flock are from the poorest, most dispossessed people on Footfall. They've brought me troubling news from Footfall's shadow quarters. In the darkest corners, where the Liege's wardens do not venture, taint has taken root. Sorry. That was a immature joke. Let's see. Footfall is consumed by profanity, but even here, true heresy serving the Arch-Enemy is a rarity. The cultists who now dwell in the shadow quarters mark their abodes with a sun inscribed in blue and gold, and perform strange rituals in secret. The weak find solace in believing these reports to be rumors, but I know well that evil lurks all around us, and I wish to see retribution. Why don't you go to the Liege with this matter? I do not walk the paths pleasing to the Liege, Hieronymus frowns. Vladayim is weak and riddled with worms on the inside. He seeks to please his Kasbalika masters, those peddlers of relics of the unholy Xenos. I come across heresy surprisingly often these days. Indeed, dark times are upon us, and wretched souls grow ever more eager to embrace heresy, both on Footfall and elsewhere. Its foul buds are coming into bloom. Troubling news is arriving from many planets. There are whispers of wicked things taking place on Kiava Gamma, and just recently a transport ship by the name of Navika, teeming with refugees, arrived on Footfall from Winterscale's realm. Their world was stricken with blasphemous sedition, and such was its severity that they had to flee to save themselves. The liege refused to accept them, and so they headed for Foulstone, a desolate cloister of the righteous. It was wise of them not to linger in this den of vileness. We will verify this rumor, Reverend Hieronymus. With great pleasure, Argenta lays a hand on her weapon. I almost wish for the rumor to be true. My heart yearns to battle some heretics. This is where I bid you goodbye, sister. Noble Taku, is there more you wish to ask me about? What are you doing on Footfall? What am I doing in this den of blasphemers, pagans, and the vilest of souls, you mean to say? Well, Footfall is the first and last stop in the Coronis Expanse. It is the point of arrival for those who have just started on their path, and it is also where those who are reaching its very end return, their souls wounded and bleeding. I embrace both the former and the latter so that they may cast an honest eye over their impurity. Furthermore, rumors from this entire sector amass on Footfall. If I hear crewmen whispering about a reclaimed shrine world or expressing desire to carry the Emperor's light into the darkness among the stars, I help my flock in their sacred duty. Devoted trailblazers need assistance, both spiritual and material, tools, equipment, even garments and simple everyday items, anything that might help pilgrims on their long journey and during the first days of the harsh frontier life is worth its weight in gold to us. May any help you offer to the effort... What? May any help you offer to the effort of gathering such things be blessed. The path of true believers leads into darkness, to search for worlds that have lost its radiance, steeped in depravity. Blessed are the deeds of those who give themselves into the void and the warp in hopes that their actions might bring light into the darker reaches of the expanse, and deliver a previously barren world into the Imperium service. Hieronymus is silent for a few seconds. And all the more bitter is the realization that not all brave souls will succeed in their first mission. Footfall still awaits news from the Wasteland Wayfarer, an ancient ark of a ship headed for distant stars. Her last astropathic message was sent from beyond the Cineris Maleficum, and the stars have kept her fate secret since. Interesting.
Do not obstruct servo-skulls in the commission of their sacred functions. Any desecration of the holy envoys of the Adeptus Mechanicus will be met with immediate retribution.
I bear another darker duty. The expanse is filled with the tainted creations of unholy heretics. These insidious objects are a danger to the soul, but I know what to do with them. Should you on your travels come upon dangerous corrupted objects, bring them to me, and the reward for your vigilance will be even more generous. The Drusian mission has much to share with the rogue trader. I'll take my leave. Okay. So I'll save there, and I'll continue this conversation next time I play. But for now, I am going to take a lunch break. The keyword is break. I plan to be back. I mean, if I'm not back, then something happened. But I'm going to take a lunch break. I'm going to end the stream. When I come back, I'm going to play some Barony. So it's not going to be Rogue Trader. It's going to be Barony, just to make that really clear. But yeah, I'll be back. All right. Adios, y'all. For now. I'll see you in like 30 minutes. All right. I'll be back.